Hello and welcome to the Out Loud podcast. My name is John.
And I'm Brian, and this is the podcast where it's okay for rosé any day.
Yes. All right, let's roll that intro music.
Open up your mind. Tell me where you want to be. Tell me what you need from me.
Brian, you look amazing.
It's June, and you know what that means.
It is Pride Month.
It's Pride Month.
Rainbows for everybody.
And we have our little Pride t-shirts on.
For those of you listening to the pod, we are sitting out in the back of my property on a couple of hay bales, and you can see the cornfields in the distance.
Right.
It's pretty aesthetic.
He's a little bit country. I'm a little bit rock and roll.
I'm a little bit country. And we both have our Pride shirts on, debuting the rainbow flag
with a heart.
With a heart. Yay. This is the Pride edition of the Out Loud podcast.
Oh.
What was that?
I don't know.
Yeah?
I was like
You're going
back
full...
in my bartending days.
Whoa.
So-
It's like I saw a flashback of Brian in a jockstrap to
Whoa.
like some strobe music.
Yeah,
and
yeah. That's
somehow your jockstrap gets brought up in every single episode.
Right. One of these
So-
days I'm going to have to wear it.
In this episode, we're going to talk about the economic impacts of Pride celebrations. How much money is really spent during those? I mean, it goes crazy. It's nuts sometimes.
And then I'm going to talk about the HRC, the the Corporate Equality Index, sorry.
Clearly, you're very
Yeah.
prepared for this episode.
Well, I just call it the CEI. I just call it the CEI. That's why I actually didn't know what it stood
we
for.
promise we sort of kind of know what we're talking about. Okay,
Sometimes.
guys? And then I want to go about like which companies really have our back. Like
Yep.
because obviously at Pride, you bring in a lot of money if you throw a rainbow on something. And
Right, and everybody does.
Yeah.
And I'm going to just, we'll go through it, but I'll call out some of the companies that, that I like that did really
Oh,
well.
Brian's going to give him a call out.
Nah, it's all right.
Oh,
We'll
Brian,
see.
see a
We'll
little
see.
grumpy side of, well, Brian always has a grumpy side. Anyway,
Why
no,
do
and
people
then
say that?
we're going to get into our craziest Pride stories.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then because we just want to round it out on a very, very positive note, what Pride means to us.
Oh, okay.
So stick around for the entire episode.
Yep.
Obviously. Do I have to tell people that? I guess I have to tell people
If
that.
you keep talking, yeah, you're going to have to tell them that.
So anyway, LGBTQ, just jumping right in.
Jumping right in.
Before we lose you. LGBTQ community spends $917 billion, that's with a B,
Billion.
annually. So they have that much buying, basically $1 trillion annually of buying power.
Right.
So
That's a lot for a company.
so a lot of companies recognize this. And
Yes.
they're like, okay, you guys have money, we want your money. How do we tap into that? And so as I'm researching this episode, I found this term called the pink dollar and like pink
Yep.
marketing, which is like a legit marketing term. And there's companies out there like trying to sell you reports on how to sell to gay people.
Oh, I'm sure. There are ad agencies specifically, for, that target the gay population.
It's a niche. I mean,
Yeah.
think about anything, really.
Yep.
You can target. So, and that kind of scares me because if you're trying to figure out my spending habits, I'm a little scared. You don't want to go looking at my
Oh,
spending.
come on. Like if we were looking up baseball bats or talking about it, all of a sudden it's in our Instagram
That is
feed.
scary.
So
and you know what's crazy
that
is like
happens.
talking about it and like the Amazon Alexa almost like hears you. So then your Facebook feed is full of baseball bats
Yeah.
or whatever Brian is
I don't know why I
talking
said
about
baseball
in
bats.
his spare time. So yeah, this rabbit hole of pink money, kind of, I went down it, you guys. I went down it very,
down the hole.
very far. And I found that there's like this financial firm who sells, and I quote, like this is legit paper.
All right.
The pursuit of pink money, gay and lesbian spending patterns. Guess how much this costs to like figure out how much we spend, where we spend all this stuff. How
$2
much does this
million.
cost? Well, it's $2,600.
Oh.
$2,600
you mean how much
bucks.
we pay? How much we
I
spend?
don't. It's just like a
per person?
research report.
Oh.
Maybe I'm just not into like this culture, this sort of economy of understanding markets. But that seems like a lot of money to figure out that I like to buy things that have rainbows on them.
$2,600?
To buy a research report on how to market to gay people.
I was just like, that doesn't
LGBTQ
sound like
plus.
much. No, that's not much. When you just talked about $1 trillion,
guess.
if I'm Target, $2,600 is a drop in the bucket when I want to see how to market to the LGBTQ+.
I guess it was more about me feeling a little salty that people are trying to understand my psychology and undermine my marketing and spending habits.
Well,
I guess that's anything.
They do that for
Capitalism, folks.
They do that for everybody. They don't just do it for the LGBTQ. They do it for every segment. Oh, there's our
Speaking of every
there's
segment,
our donkey.
I don't know if you guys can hear it. Yeah, that'd be great.
Hopefully, you
The
might be
donkey
able to
is
hear
going
the
hard.
donkey. Yeah.
The donkey is feeling the pride.
So
Happy Pride Month, you guys. This is great. So, and then I was also looking for, because I like stock market stuff, I was looking if there's any ETF and funds that are like a cluster. Do you know what a fund is, or like an ETF? It's a group of stocks that all like have a similar characteristic or quality. So I was looking, are there any LGBTQ like stocks?
Okay.
There used to be, and it was called the EQLT fund, but it doesn't exist anymore. So if anyone knows of anything that's like that, where you can kind of like invest to support like specifically LGBTQ stocks, please comment and let me know, because I would love to see that. Let's see that on Robinhood.
yeah.
Yeah. And right now, actually, we have a
special
guest
guest star.
coming in on the pod. Sorry for people who are listening, but my nephew is walking up, and he looks like he's a little angry.
What's the matter?
What's the matter?
What's the matter, buddy?
What's
Oh,
the matter? What's wrong?
use your words. Tell us what's wrong.
Let's see. He's not feeling very proud, you guys. What's wrong?
I want that toy.
What toy, buddy?
That baby Yoda toy.
Oh, mine?
Oh,
Oh, you can have it. Go ahead.
You
You tell her that I
tell
said
her
you
we
can
said
have
it's okay.
it. Okay? What,
Baby Yoda drama.
Baby
You
Yoda.
can't have that.
Which I'm not a big fan of Grogu. Like, come on. The name?
Pookie likes Grogu now.
No, I just don't like the name.
He farted in the car. And I said, who did that? First he blamed me.
Baby Yoda.
And then he went, Baby Yoda.
Brian, I don't know what it is. I have this like rainbow reflex, right? Anything that has like a rainbow on it, or
Like he gave any of these
stuff like that,
stickers
I
you
just
see
cannot
on
help
that,
myself.
he gave me all these
You guys,
rainbow stickers. He had
I'm
a
just
ton
saying,
more, but I'm like,
Amazon, it was like $8.99, and I think I got 100 gay stickers, like pride stickers.
they're everything. Like it was a YouTube symbol with gay, the peace sign that was gay, an American flag that looked gay. I was like, wow, that's a lot of gay going on. Get your gay going on?
Can you have too much?
No, not really. Not when it comes to you or I.
Fabulousness. So, obviously, it goes without saying. We want to talk about like the companies that are gay and like do these supportive things, especially for Pride and throughout the year, because we want to give money to companies who
Right.
support us. You don't want to support, and you know what's really terrible, and I think we've talked about this before, is Chick-fil-A seems really cool, man.
The what?
It seems really cool. Like the food. The food seems
Well,
awesome.
from what everyone
but I
says,
just,
the
I
food
just
is
can't.
right. But I have one company that, like, when I get into my stuff,
you
that
can't.
I'm gonna you can't.
I want one. I
It's
want the
like-
nuggets.
And I've heard, and the thing is, it's like you have to kind of do your research to decide. Like I've heard Cracker Barrel is that way, too. That they like fund anti-gay policies.
Well,
you
I'm
know?
gonna give money to people who support me.
Right. That's the bottom line. You should do that regardless if it's a gay or a straight business.
We
You
know,
what I mean?
yeah,
For-
like it's like we know if you're being sincere,
Right.
If you're just kind of throwing, if Chick-fil-A just like throws a rainbow on their like chicken nugget, like whatever, no,
Right.
no.
Like sometimes
Sorry,
I
you
think
can't. You have there's a way to do it. There's a way to market towards us.
Yeah. To me, it just has to seem genuine, and not like so like forced, or like these commercials will be forced fun, and all of a sudden you show like
Yeah.
someone with a rainbow
Yeah.
flag, and it's
Yeah.
like
Everyone's happy.
Yeah.
Everyone's happy.
So
Maybe they need to buy that $2,600 report.
Yeah. Well,
No, they need more than that.
They need more than
that. They need Brian on their marketing crew.
yes, they do. They do.
Da-na-na.
All right. So you want me to segue into that,
no,
or you're
no, 'cause
still
I still have-
talking?
I still have
Oh
stuff to talk about.
God. Like I love getting scolded on my own podcast. That's good.
And so I just wanted to touch on three companies that I found
Okay.
that really support LGBTQ plus rights. It's IKEA. You can't go wrong with a good IKEA furniture and their lunch. I'm just
You
saying.
could.
They give money for LGBTQ educational programs.
Yep.
And then you have Target, who like
Yep.
they make schools safe. Like they donate a ton to that, which I think we have a lot to do. We have a lot of work to do within making schools safe. Did you hear about that? I think he was 12 years old. Riley, in the UK, he committed
No.
suicide after being
bullied.
Because
Those stories
Yeah.
are too sad.
I
for
know,
me
and
to-
it's not something that, like, we have to remember it for Pride Month, right? You have to remember so we can continue to grow in things.
Yeah.
So that's something we have to, work towards. So Target does a lot of donations for making schools safe, and then AT&T with the Trevor Project, which is,
Oh, yeah.
again, similar.
That's a
thing,
great organization.
Great organization. Trevor Project is great. If you ever have money and you want to give it to someone, Trevor Project is
Right,
probably
don't
a
give
good
it to
idea.
the old farts like me.
Yeah.
You got to give it to the future.
Yeah.
You got to help these kids out. Like, yeah, we already went through it. Like, help the little kids.
Help
know?
the little kids. Help them, please.
Right.
Okay, Brian.
All right.
You wanna
So
talk
we
about
kind of all know the HRC, Human Rights Campaign,
Yes.
and I am a monthly subscriber to them because I do believe in what they do, and the stuff that they do is very important.
Brian, is this an advertisement?
No, it's not. And that's the thing. We don't sponsor anyone. So that's a good thing. We can say if we like them or we don't like them. So they, every year, I'm sure you've heard, they do the Corporate Equality Index. It's the national benchmarking tool on corporate policies, practices, and benefits pertinent to lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer employees.
HRC does all these awesome reports like this.
Yeah.
I love it. They
so
do
this,
one for healthcare
so
too.
this is the 2021 report, the CEI, as I call it.
CEI.
It listed, which is so awesome, 767 employers achieved a top score of 100.
A top score.
100.
Wow.
Earning the coveted best place to work for the LGBTQ community.
How about
Bugs
it?
on it.
How about it?
So there 84 of them were newly rated. So they've kind of joined the index, and 233 Fortune 500 participated, which is almost half, which
Give
is
me
good.
the love.
And then there was this statistic, and it might mean something more to other people. And according to the American Law magazine, 200 law firms actively participated in this equality index as well.
Great.
So I guess maybe usually law firms don't, or something. I don't know, because maybe
I think it's to make it a
too-
third party.
Maybe.
So
Maybe.
it's not like biased in any way.
So what is the criteria? So it's sexual orientation in the U.S. non-discrimination policy.
Happy Pride.
Thank you. Gender identity, domestic partner benefits, transgender inclusive benefits,
Yep.
organizational LGBTQ competency,
Yep.
and then their public commitment to the LGBTQ.
That makes sense. Okay.
So basically, in this 767, as John mentioned a couple of them, seriously, if you kind of think of any of the big Fortune 500 companies
Oh, okay.
that
IKEA,
you do-
Target. what else is
yeah.
it?
So I'm
AT&T,
just
okay.
there's just a couple that I'm gonna throw out there. Hasbro. which
Hasbro.
We love Hasbro because
Yay.
they do things. They are so committed to kids and so committed to the LGBTQ community. They
Yeah.
do some great stuff.
And they're in Providence.
and
so
they're
in the
in
local
Providence.
community.
So when we have that, the Pride Parade, they are front and center. Their employees are great about it. This one, I just thought it was interesting. Chobani yogurt.
Greek yogurt, baby.
Yeah, and I saw a story of
Huge
the guy,
Greek yogurt fan. Oh my gosh.
Sorry, a story of the guy that started Chobani, and
Oh yeah, he
you
came
know,
from nothing.
nothing.
Yeah.
So it's it's
Great
awesome
story.
that he's doing that. Starbucks, so you can
Okay.
go to Starbucks and spend $5 if you'd like to do that. Airbnb, which I thought was cool. I just because we like using Airbnb. Lowe's got it. Home Depot did not. Not to say that Home Depot might not be 94, but they did not achieve a 100 score.
Interesting. So Lowe's gets my money.
Right. Well, actually, when I used to work for TJX, we achieved the 100. Of course, I'm sure I had something to do with it.
Of course.
Single-handedly.
Yes.
But they weren't on the list this year. So I'm
You
not
need
sure.
a little song and dance. They need
I
you
think
on
they
a
need
commercial
something.
or something.
Netflix, which I thought was cool.
Yay.
Sephora. I just thought that throw that out there because your foundation's a little.
I thought Sephora was
weak.
jewelry.
Of course you did. Of course you did.
Every kiss begins with Sephora.
Levi Strauss, which I
All
just
right,
love Levi's
all
because
right.
it's like I said, you think of these American iconic brands, and they are
I can't get
Walmart.
Sephora, but I got Levi, bro.
Yeah, right, there you go.
Yeah.
Walt
Walmart
Disney.
and Walt Disney. Okay.
But this is one I thought that was interesting because I was kind of against them. Papa John's.
I got 100.
Yes. So I
Why were you
always
against them?
heard,
Oh.
I always heard that Papa John, the guy himself, was like anti-gay and funded anti-gay policy. So I'm not sure, because like I'm like,
Didn't he like? Wait, hold on. He used to do commercials a lot, and
he
got
did
like
them.
he got
And
shafted
I
for
think,
something.
well,
Like, it was-
he did something.
Yeah.
I don't think anything like bad,
yeah,
but
okay.
so now I'm like, so is he not? Like, is he not? And I just thought of a story, another marketing story, Barilla Pasta, which is a great
Barilla.
pasta.
Oh, I love their bow ties.
Right.
Great
But
bow ties.
they had shot a gay couple and the CEO in Italy. No way, no
Nixed it.
how. We are not doing that. And it got such bad press.
Sorry,
that, like,
Barilla.
but he had to say, so seriously, when I'm in the market, I'm like, I'll buy Prince.
I don't
I'll
need
buy-
Barilla.
Right.
I'll just get a
it's like,
burrito.
it's horrible. But like I think he's like the marketing guy. I read the whole thing on it. Like he was basically the fires he had to put out for
Yeah.
like 2 years to get this thing going. So we're going to include this link so you can look at all
Yeah, there's a ton of 'em.
767, just the 100. But it's a great list to look at because I look at it in two ways. You know, one, if you're looking for a new job, like wouldn't it be awesome to work for a company that you know would have this perfect score and they support what you do and you can be who you are and I'll use that cliche, be your true self, you know? Oh, you got
Stop
bugs.
touching me.
You got bugs on you and the reason that John was talking about, don't you want to spend your money there? If they're like such a great place for people to work, don't you want to do that instead of like, you know, Billy Bob Sue
Billy Bob
canoes?
Sue. Billy
know?
Bob Sue sells canoes. Come on down, 2 for 1.
But that's what I'm saying. You know, if it's a company that doesn't support LGBTQ,
Yeah.
you're out.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's all I got for.
You're out of here.
I'm out of here.
Oh goodness.
So,
So,
I think
okay.
I need a little sip.
You need a sip as we dive into
Little slip of
our
Slosé.
craziest pride stories. And by craziest,
Like, how crazy could he be?
I'm not that crazy, you guys.
Came out 6 months ago.
I'm a real boy. So, my crazy, I actually have 2 to share. It's not really crazy, but first one I will talk about is in the Pride Parade at Providence.
Oh yeah.
In Providence. It was the second time I did it because I marched with the softball league and
Nice.
with my team, and it was just a fun, amazing thing. And if you've never been to Providence's Pride, it's so great. Of course,
It's at night.
At night, and it's lit up. It's
Oh
lit
my
up.
God!
It's all
It's
glow in the
just
dark.
so much fun.
It's great, and of course, all of the bars and clubs and things show out and put on black parties. It's
Big,
absolutely
huge
amazing.
block parties. Like, they take like 4 or 5 parking lots and
Yeah.
have like. I mean, I saw Taylor Dane, and I'm trying to think of all like these 80s.
They get some good
stars,
acts, and
yeah.
it's really great. And it just felt such like an amazing opportunity for me to be a part of all of that stuff. And I actually was, someone snapped a picture of me when I was doing it. And of course, me being the overachiever that I am, I decided to throw a split in the middle of the street.
Of course you did.
You know, perfectly for this camera lady. I think Jen Bowden. I think shout out to you for the camera
Jen.
for the photo shot. Yeah, it was great. So anyway, I'll throw that on the screen now, and I'll throw a link in the description
Yeah.
so everyone can see it. It was great. I just loved. I did the split, and it was just like I
You
did a
did.
split,
It was
and there
a-
was
it
a
was-
split.
it was
Did
a
everyone get it?
captured
I did a
short.
split.
Yeah. I think we've heard it.
But my
it
next
enough
one, I just wanted
times.
to talk about. It's not really crazy, but I went to Albuquerque, New Mexico's Pride, and I went
Ah.
there by myself. And it's just kind of weird to like go to an event like that by yourself. It's kind of push yourself out of your comfort zone. And I ended up like just walking around with a group of people that I met, like just kind of getting food, and it was fun. I
That
had
is fun.
fun just because it was like-minded individuals, and we were proud together. And you know, it's as crazy as it gets for this one over here. I know Brian has some crazier stories. So
No, mine aren't like too crazy, but I mean, I used to work the bars in Boston, the gay bars in Boston, and John Della Rocco and Michael Savad. Hi guys. If you
Della
ever
Rocco!
listen-
I love that name.
They did the gay nights in most of the clubs in Boston, and they were these amazing promoters, but also designers that would create these amazing things. So for Pride Parade in Boston, we would do themes. And so one theme was kings and queens. So you would either
Hey there, kings and
you would
queens.
either
That's
be
funny.
dressed up as a king or you would be dressed up as a queen, and they would design all the costumes.
Please,
And I
you were
remember
the-
the float was a huge castle. You know I was the king.
You were the Joker.
Whatever, the court jester. So, and then we did another one just when the marriage bill passed in Massachusetts. We did brides and grooms. So I was in my little black shorts with just a little black bow tie.
Please,
so-
Della Rocco and this other guy. If you guys have
Michael
pictures,
Zavala.
I need them.
I think, but the last one that I did, then we did one like gay internationals, like every flag of the nation, and
Okay.
people would dress up. But my most favorite one was we did was like a prehistoric cave woman.
Yeah.
And so they built this giant volcano that actually smoked like this huge. And the thing is, Boston, when I used to do the parades, and we'd say that's like the mid 90s, mid 90s, and there'd be 250,000 people along the routes, like just crazy for these parades. But they were during the day, and I just remember it was always like 100 degrees because it's usually like June 7th, like that first weekend. And so for that caveman one, yes, I was actually in a loincloth.
Whoa.
Walking the streets of Boston
Oh, yeah.
in a loincloth. But I remember when I did, we did the Boston one for TJX, and I had I think at that point he was almost a year old nephew.
Who? Oh,
I took
Pookie.
Pookie.
Yeah.
I took Pookie on the Gay Pride Parade with me, and we had like tote bags that, like, if you're doing
Yeah.
a giveaway,
Yeah.
and TJX was giving
Oh,
rainbow
yeah.
bags away, it was you would have thought you were giving away cars to everyone, and you get a car, and you get a car. It was like people were gaga, literally.
People like free
Lady
stuff.
Gaga came up to me and asked me for a bag. Like that was my most.
People love free stuff.
So it was just like a lot of fun, and even like the one that John did, I did as well with my softball team.
Yeah.
And it was just the first time I had marched in the Providence one, and it's just very, it's very nice to see the support, and since like I am older and I have seen not support and
good to
things like,
see.
and I've seen like how companies have evolved to like, we need to
That's
support
got to be an
these
amazing
people.
transition to see,
Well-
like, for you, like city after city coming out with a pride here, pride there, pride
Right,
there. and, like,
everyone's
yeah.
doing it, and I mean it's not like, to me I think it's a lot kind of different now than like when I first started doing Pride, because it was more it was more about rights and whatever. But I think as our rights move forward, we still got a lot of work to do on transgender rights and queer rights and bisexual rights and
Yeah.
whatever.
Well,
But
yeah,
like
there's-
we're evolving, and I think these parades kind of bring that to focus. But I think it's just a way of bringing everybody
I
together.
think this beautifully
this-
brings us to my point of what does pride mean to you.
Yeah.
And for me, it means like every year it just kind of reminds me to check in with myself and like, all right, John, are you figuring it out? Like, do you have yourself figured out? Because I think we grow every year, we change every year. You got to check in with yourself to make sure you're still being true and authentic to yourself. And like I said, that's a moving target for a lot of people because years change, and Lord knows last year was crazy for all of us. And
Yep,
it's
no
important
pride,
to check
right.
in and make sure that, like, okay, because sometimes we live on autopilot. You just don't recognize like the changes around you, and you have to like pause and appreciate, am I being my true self? So that's what pride, like every year that I kind of do that, whether it's intentional or not, I kind of check in with myself.
Well, and I can kind of, I definitely feel the same way. Like, I feel when I was your age and I was just starting out in my career, I was afraid to tell people that I was gay.
Yeah.
And I was in a relationship at the time, and it's just kind of weird. And then even like, it's only, I would say, within like the last 10 years that if I start a new job, I'm gay.
Yeah.
Deal with it. It's not like I hide it or it's the first thing I say, but like if someone says,
It is always something you have to
someone
approach.
says like, if, well, what does your wife think of that? And I'm like, well, my boyfriend doesn't allow me to have a wife because he's living in the 1800s. But you know what I mean? So it's like, there is that, I have seen how maybe it's a broad statement, how society has changed towards it. Just by like we said, 767 companies. When 25, 30 years ago, that wasn't happening.
No.
That was not happening, you know.
No.
As much as we wanted to say it was, it was. I'm not gonna say, oh, like I struggled, like, you know, back in the 80s or,
Yeah.
you know, early 90s, because I didn't. I mean, I think of, like, you know, probably my parents, and like if anyone was gay, LGBTQ,
Of course.
like that was not going to be a fun
Even
time for
worse.
them.
That's
know?
why it's so important to celebrate the present.
Yeah. And celebrate Pride. Go do something. Grab your straight friends. Get them involved.
Yeah.
Even if you're straight, we love that you're watching us.
Thankfully,
You
the
know?
pandemic is calming down. I think it's still important to get vaccinated, wear masks,
Wear a mask,
stay
yep.
safe, do your thing. But please, like, go out and celebrate Pride.
'Cause
Please
we're gonna.
celebrate it. We are going to. We're going to take these shirts. We may wear them. We may take them off. I don't know.
Well,
Actually,
he'll
here
take 'em
we
off.
go. No, just kidding.
Yeah.
Anyway, stay tuned for the Just for Fans page, OnlyFans, coming out next month. Next month?
Yeah, coming out never.
Never.
Coming out never.
We just got everyone a little bit excited.
Says you. For you, maybe. That's about it.
Oh, goodness. Well, I think that's everything.
I think
for
we got
today.
everything. Do we have to go through our little laundry list of stuff for
Thank
everybody?
you to Nearly York for the intro and outro of our song. There's their song Take You There. Check out their music on Spotify.
I love them. I love them so much. Remember, questions, comments, concerns. We love hearing from you guys. It's so awesome. I get so excited when I see something in the inbox. And what that inbox is outloudjb@gmail.com.
Here we go.
And we go. And it's outloudjb@gmail.com. You just love me because of this.
I do love you. Well, more than just that.
Aww.
Yeah, I'll keep you around. Like, comment, subscribe. You know the deal. You love it. You love it.
Subscribe.
Keep watching our stuff.
Come on.
We just came out of the vlog about Philadelphia, which I wish more people would go and watch. So go and watch it because we had a lot of fun doing it, even though we didn't play any softball. So
Wow. Was it?
thanks for watching.
Happy Pride, everybody.
Hope you liked it, and we hope to see you in the next one.